lot of folks have asked me, why did we pick the Gravity Group to produce this coaster? Well, the Gravity Group has this fabulous reputation for building and designing really exciting and thrilling family coasters. And although we have 5 great coasters in the park right now, we're looking for the best thrilling family coaster in America. And who better to go to than the Gravity Group? Between Oscar's Wacky Taxi, the Wooden Warrior up in Quasi, which is a really great park. These are examples of sort of really thrilling family coasters that the Gravity Group designs and fabricates. So that's why we picked the Gravity Group. And when you get right down to it, it wasn't really a difficult decision. So why do we call it the Kentucky Flyer? Well, we did that for a couple reasons. One, selfishly, I'm very much interested in, my studies have always been in history when I was in school, in graduate school and all, and I'm really sort of totally interested in World War II. And somehow, just that seems so nostalgic. The Kentucky Flyer reminds me of those great World War II planes. And we had fun with designing the front car, which will be revealed soon. But it just seemed like Kentucky Flyer is such a great American name. It's nostalgic, and it just brings back those wonderful, wonderful images of those great World War II fighter planes. Folks have asked, did we consider any other names besides Kentucky Flyer? And people familiar with Kentucky Kingdom and our roller coasters know we generally pick a calamitous weather condition, storms, lightning, to describe our coasters. Well, when you think about it, we sort of ran out of bad weather conditions, so there was nothing left to apply weather-wise to the Kentucky Flyer. But even that being said, I think we would have stayed with the nostalgia of World War II and introduced sort of a new theme for our roller coaster. So we're happy with Kentucky Flyer. But you know something? I don't know, the tsunami? Maybe that would have been better, but I don't think so. So when did we start planning for the Kentucky Flyer? Believe it or not, I drew a sketch of the logo in 2014. So we've had this coaster on our mind for 4 years. Although the final design is better than my raw sketch, nonetheless, we knew we needed a really, really thrilling family roller coaster. And what makes this such a wonderful, wonderful ride is the breadth of audience that can ride it. From different size folks, they can ride very comfortably because of the Timberliner trains, to height restrictions are much lower in this ride. It's truly a ride for the entire family. And that's why it's such an important addition to our lineup of world-class roller coasters. Kentucky Flyer is particularly unique because of the Timberliner trains. This makes the ride very, very thrilling. Most coasters have a diameter when it makes a turn of around 20 feet. The Timberliner trains can turn at 9 feet, which is really quite extraordinary and creates tremendous banking excitement, also helps us get into some terrific airtime. But the Timberliner trains and the harness system, the restraint systems, can actually handle somebody as tall as just 40 inches. Well, that's a 4-year-old. So if you have a 4-year-old who can't wait to get on a coaster, guess what? They don't have to wait till they're 8 years old, which is the normal height for a 48-inch young person. So between 4 and 8, as long as you're over 40 inches, accompanied by a parent, but you're over 40 inches, you can ride the Kentucky Flyer by virtue of the fact we're using the Timberliner train. So there's very few, I think maybe right now, Wooden Warrior, probably the other Gravity Group installations have that lower height requirement. So there's very few out there, and we're proud to bring that lower height requirement to the Ohio Valley. You know, what's most exciting about the installation, the Kentucky Flyer, is where we're going to put it. Anybody familiar with the way we've designed our park? We put our water park right smack in the middle of Kentucky Kingdom. That's Hurricane Bay Beach and Hurricane Bay Beach Club, which was the expansion of our water park when we redeveloped the facility in 2014. But what we've done is, here's our water park right smack in the middle of the park, And coming from New York, and I remember the Coney Island days, you'd see a boardwalk, you'd have activities, but then there'd be these fabulous coaster profiles in the distance. So what we've done is we put all our coasters around the water park. T3, Thunder Run, Lightning Run, Storm Chaser you can see in the distance. So when you're in the water park, you're looking at these fabulous monster coasters all around you. Well, guess what? The Kentucky Flyer completes that profile. It creates the skyline right past the expansion of our water park, and now you'll see this fabulous white structure with both trains in activity, just framing the last view of our water park, and it completes the image I've always had about let's bring the Atlantic or Pacific coast right into the middle of Kentucky.